Alright, people, back video. Okay. It's time for the Royal Rumble. Guys, no heat before this. I think that you'd be just doing the lottery picks and that beforehand. That's about all that would be on heat. So, let's move on. Okay. Light heavyweight title. Scotty 2 Hotty versus Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn picks up the win. Then we go on to the tag titles. Not much of a build up here. Basically, you'd have the APA just challenging them, the T and A, for the belts. That'd just be the next ones in line, and you'd probably do a battle royal or something for them to get the shot. But yeah, apart from that, nothing else. And here we go with the Intercontinental title. Brass knuckles on a pole. Basically, the build-up for this would be very similar to what was the build-up for No Way Out. And this sort of combined, similar way. Edge would lose the match. Regal would win the title, and you'd still have that whole thing going on with him. Then we got a women's title, Trish Stratus versus Jazz, same thing. This was a great match to begin with, so why mess with it? Jazz would get the win here and there, and yeah, very similar. So a lot of this card is very similar to what would actually happen because it was a good card to begin with. The WWF title match, Chris Jericho versus The Rock. The only things that I would change in here is I would have Jericho not be such a whiny guy. I know he kind of likes that sort of persona, but I would have him doing things that would make him look a little bit stronger, like interfering in The Rock's matches, costing him matches along the way. But you have to do some things to make Jericho seem more over than what he was. Okay, yeah, then we go on to the Royal Rumble. Now, I'm not going to tell you everyone that's in here. I'm just going to go over a few things. We still have Maven eliminating the Undertaker here in a much similar fashion. But you have the Hardys lasting a little bit longer. They get eliminated along with Venis, and then you have Maven come in, and then you have him beat him up and all that. Yet still have the Mr. Perfect putting in that stellar performance. Very similar beginning to. I'm gonna put this all up in the description box. Check it out. You'll have that here. I have Dreamer in here as well. He was around at the time, so I stuck him in there. I'd have him last a little bit longer. Him and Rob would have some stuff going on. Yeah, I still have Triple H winning the whole thing. And yeah, then we go to Raw. Okay, Vince McMahon comes out and says he has finally found a way to destroy WCW, and he will do that at the next pay-per-view. I'd give him as much time as he would need to go through this, but that's basically the point. I'd have him get to that and have him really rub it in, but not give away what this would be. Okay, 6-man tag, William Regal and T and A team up to take on Edge and the Hardy Boys with Lita. Regal ends up pinning Edge. He does the brass knuckles thing, same thing again. And you really want to rub this in that this guy's a heel. Yeah. Then we have Crash Holly teaming up with Jerry Lynn to take on Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty. Rikishi ends up getting the win. He does what he has to do. Women's title, Jazz versus Ivory. Jazz gets the win. This is just a make-up spot, and you might tease the rematch with Trish here if you wanted to. Mr. Perfect versus Tommy Dreamer. I just threw this out there just to have Perfect do his thing, and I would do a lot more with Mr. Perfect here than what they did. I just have him go over Tommy Dreamer here. Hardcore title, Rob Van Dam versus Steve Blackman. Rob Van Dam wins. Triple H teams up with The Rock. And here's something I should... throughout the night, I would have them showing the rivalry that had taken place between Triple H and The Rock, and tease, will these guys be able to get along? And I'd even have backstage segments with them sort of looking like they're maybe not going to get along here, but you'd still have Triple H get the pin on, he's taking on Triple H and The Rock taking on Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle, and you just have Triple H get the pin on Angle here. Nitro. Cruiserweight title match. Kaz Hayashi versus Shane Helms. Kaz Hayashi gets the win. WCW Tag Titles. Impact Players. Lance Storm and Justin Incredible taking on Flock members Saturn and Steven Richards. Impact Players get the win. US title number 1 contenders match. Shane Douglas, Dustin Rhodes, Vampiro, and Sean O'Haire. What the heck? God, I can't remember what was going to happen here. Hang on. Let's pause for a minute. Just a thought, guys. It is Shane Douglas who gets the win there, because I am looking towards the future after this. Okay. Then we have Ric Flair teaming up once again with Sting to take on Animal and Jeff Jarrett. Ric Flair low blows Sting. Jeff Jarrett hits the stroke and wins the match. Okay, this is setting up once again a Ric Flair and Sting match. But there is a purpose behind this. First Blood, Diamond Dallas Page and Scott Steiner. Okay, we have this go back and forth, brawling back and forth, type thing. DDP ends up getting the win after busting open Scott Steiner with a chair. How else would he do it? You may have him do his Diamond Cutter and that as well. Onto the chair maybe, but yeah. Alright guys, sorry it's been so long to get to this up, but I was preparing my Who Reviews the Reviewers thing, waiting on that, angsting about that, and sorry, looks like I got left behind once again. But yeah, thanks for listening.